Today we're diving into a nearly 400-year-old masterpiece by the one and only John Milton. But trust me, this is way more than just a play. It's a piece of theater with a seriously dark, scandalous secret hiding right in plain sight.
So, what's the big deal here? Well, the story behind this play is just as wild as the one on stage. We're going to uncover how this beautiful performance, which is all about celebrating chastity, might have actually been a desperate PR move to clean up the image of a family rocked by one of the most shocking crimes of the 17th century.
All right, let's set the scene. Picture it, Ludlow Castle, September 29th, 1634. It's a huge party to celebrate John Egerton, the Earl of Bridgewater, getting this prestigious new job as Lord President of Wales. And for the entertainment, he hires a promising young writer you might have heard of, John Milton, to put on a special show.
Now, the plot itself has all the makings of a classic fairy tale. The Earl's own kids were the stars. His daughter Alice played the lady, and his two sons were her brothers. They're all on a journey, they get lost, and the lady gets tired, so her brothers head off to find some food, leaving her all alone in these spooky woods.
And this is where our villain shows up. His name is Comus. He's a charismatic sorcerer inspired by the Greek god of, well, wild parties. But he's cleverly disguised as a friendly local villager. He flashes a warm smile, promises to lead her back to her brothers, and because he seems so kind, she follows him.
But you know where this is going, right? The friendly villager was a total trap. Comus doesn't lead the lady to safety at all. He takes her to his pleasure palace, a place that's basically designed for magical and moral corruption.
And boom, just like that, she's completely stuck, magically glued to an enchanted chair. Then Comus offers her a drink from this magical cup. It's a potion, and its whole purpose is to shatter her virtue and unleash all her desires for pure sensual indulgence. Now, this moment is the philosophical heart of the entire play. It's the big debate. Comus basically argues, hey, natural desires are a gift. To deny them is to deny nature itself. But the lady fires right back. She gives this incredible defense of reason and self-control, saying that real freedom isn't about giving in to every impulse, but about mastering them through virtue. So what about her brothers? Well, they are frantically searching for her. They run into an attendant spirit, kind of like a guardian angel, disguised as a shepherd, who tells them how to take down the sorcerer. They rush to the palace. They manage to chase Comus away, but his dark magic is just too powerful. The lady is still completely frozen in that chair.
See, the brothers' heroic charge just wasn't enough. A higher power is needed here. So, the spirit calls on Sabrina, a local water nymph. And here's the key. Sabrina can only break the spell because the lady's virtue remains strong. With the lady finally free, the kids are returned to their parents, and there's this huge triumphant celebration to end the play.
Now, to really get what Milton was pulling off here, we need to zoom out a bit and talk about what kind of show this actually was. It's called a masque, and in the 1630s, that meant something very, very specific.
Okay, so a masque was basically the ultimate high society party. It was a massive production. We're talking incredible costumes, music, crazy special effects, and the whole point was usually to flatter the noble host and celebrate how powerful and virtuous they were. A lot of the time, the nobles themselves, even the king and queen, would be the stars of the show.
And this is where Milton gets so clever. He takes this formula for praising aristocrats and just flips it completely on its head. In a normal masque, the noble heroes would have crushed the villain, no problem. But here, Comus just runs away. The noble kids are totally powerless, and maybe most shocking of all, the person who actually saves the day, Sabrina, was probably played by a commoner. Milton is basically saying that earthly aristocratic power isn't enough on its own. It needs help from above.
All right, now for the big reveal. This intense focus on chastity, on a woman's virtue being pushed to its absolute limit. This wasn't just some random philosophical idea Milton wanted to explore. No, for the family watching this play, it was deeply, uncomfortably personal.
Just 3 years before this play was performed, a scandal of epic proportions had absolutely rocked the English aristocracy. The Earl of Castlehaven was executed for the horrific crime of orchestrating the rape of his own wife and for sodomy. Now, get this. His wife was the sister of the Countess of Bridgewater, the wife of Milton's patron, the guy who paid for the play. A lot of scholars now believe Comus was a calculated piece of public relations, a way to publicly scrub the family's name clean by staging this grand tribute to the very virtue their own relative had so violently destroyed.
So,
After all that, what happened to this complex, controversial, and absolutely brilliant piece of theater? Well, its story was far, far from over when the curtain came down at Ludlow Castle.
I mean, after its debut, Comus just took on a life of its own. It was first published anonymously, but later became a star player in Milton's poetry collections. Then in the 18th century, a musical version by Thomas Arne became a monster hit in London. Even the great composer Handel wrote music for it. And its power is still felt today, with modern revivals constantly finding new meaning in this old, complicated story.
The play closes with these absolutely beautiful lines from the attendant spirit. It's a perfect summary of Milton's message. Virtue is what makes you truly free. It can lift you up to the heavens. But there's also a subtle warning in there. If human virtue isn't strong enough on its own, heaven itself will have to step in.
And that really leaves us with the central question Milton was asking almost 400 years ago, a question that honestly feels just as relevant today. Is our own moral strength enough to get us through life's darkest moments, or do we all, in the end, need some kind of grace to truly be saved?